Hello, and welcome to The Most Significant Bit, a podcast that explores the connections between engineering, technology, the humanities, and the arts. I'm Harry Modisett, and today we'll be discussing freeze casting. A porous structure is something that contains empty spaces, voids, within itself. Porous structures are found in many different places in nature, as well as in man-made materials. Some examples from nature are sea sponges, aquifers, and even bones. These structures offer the benefit of giving a way to transport materials while still maintaining a strong, solid structure. Porous structures are also used in energy storage, filtration, and engineering, among many other fields. In 1954, NASA was early to utilize artificial porous structures to construct a part, specifically turbocharger blades, through freeze casting. The way this is accomplished is through suspending particles of a substance into a liquid and then freezing the liquid in such a way to create ice spires. As these spires continue to grow as the liquid freezes, the suspended particles will begin taking up space that the liquid once occupied. Once all the liquid is frozen, the ice spires are removed, and the particles, now solidified, have taken the desired shape. This technique has many potential applications. The controllable pore size and the high strength of materials produced by the process both offer a great deal to a lot of different fields. Some examples of the way freeze-cast materials have been used have been in artificial bone replacements, heat-resistant materials, and the manufacturing of parts and prototypes. One company that uses freeze casting today is Carbon Application Technology International, also known as CAT International. They create parts like filter holders and breaker rings through the process. The parts that they make can have their structure modified without there needing to be a costly change in tooling. Another important aspect of the technology is its eco-friendliness. Since different materials can be used with the process, there has been research into different biomaterials that can be used with it. One example was the bioceramic hydroxyapatite, which was taken from fish scales. It was then used to create a microscopic porous structure through freeze casting. Of course, the products of freeze casting can also be applied to help fight climate change. An example of how this was used was through a foam, which was then created and used to facilitate the creation of green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is a method of hydrogen production that has significantly less greenhouse gas emissions than alternate ways of producing hydrogen. Despite the many positives already listed, the technology is still developing, and many potential uses of freeze casting are still in the prototype stage. The main reason for this is because freeze casting was only relatively recently discovered again in the early 2000s. Over the years, research has been done attempting to improve the technology by changing the materials used, changing the temperature gradient techniques, and research into the microstructures formed through the process. However, it is definitely something to keep track of. It is an environmentally friendly, cost-effective, and overall useful technology that could benefit a lot of people in the not-too-distant future. I hope you all enjoyed today's episode where we covered freeze casting, how it was discovered, its applications, and its many potential uses for the future. Thank you for listening.